A client came in about a week ago, and we sat in the office for a few minutes, and she said, I really feel like I'm kind of chasing my tail. I'm doing all these prospecting behaviors, as we call them, but I don't feel very focused. And she was fairly new to Sandler, actually. And we started talking about what are the different segments that you see in your marketplace? How do you divide up the kinds of clients that you want to have? Let's start with who's your ideal client and why. So she told me, and they were middle market. She gave a dollar amount, and they had X number of HR employees, and she gave some criteria. I said, all right, so let's break this down. We have a model in Sandler we use called the CARE model, and it's K, A, R, and E. K is for keep, those prospects or those customers that we want to keep around. They probably pay us on time. They're probably relatively easy to work with. They probably take our advice. Now, make no mistake, there are some clients that exist right now that we have that may not meet those criteria. And some people will say there's no greater joy than firing a client. That is probably true. Another category is A. A is for acquire, and that's or attain, and that's bringing in new clients, or as my IT folks say, net new logos. And what are the activities and behaviors in order to go get brand new people that you've never seen or spoken to? KARR is reclaim. And reclaim is something you had lost, a client that did do business with you for a while, and now they're doing business with one of your competitors for whatever reason. What are my steps? What are some activities I can go back and go find them and bring them back into the stable? And the other is expand. And we talk about expand as those are people we're working with, and they may be using one or two or even three of our services or products, but there are a whole lot more things we could probably sell them if that's something they needed to have. So we spent a little bit of time figuring out what are the activities that she needs to be doing for each one of these categories. What are things she needs to do for keep? One of those that she came up with, I need to have a touch call, or as some people call them, they call them Butterfinger calls, but that's another story altogether. And just staying in touch, and quarterly business reviews. Some for attain are cold calling. God forbid you go out and do some cold calls. Speaking engagement, she does a lot of speaking, and that's how do I get in front of the right numbers of the right level people. Now she knows that if she hangs out and goes to speed networking at her local small chamber, that's not going to get her in front of the owners and the CEOs of the middle market companies she wants to do. So it's still work in progress for her, as it always is, but she's segmented that market so she could align her prospecting behaviors to make sure she's giving the right message and being in front of the right people.